This is Tim Willis with ClickFunnels and Click Designs. I'm here at the fabulous Ghettowood Studios, and today we're going to be looking at ClickFunnels 2.0, and in particular we are going to be looking at the new filters feature in the image element. And I'm also going to take a look at how the image element has evolved over time in ClickFunnels. And as usual here at ClickFunnels and Click Designs, there will be no fancy jump cuts, no flashbang effects, just straight up video because I'm the most non-gimmicky guy on YouTube. With that, let's take a look at the image element in ClickFunnels, and we're going to start by looking at where we started with ClickFunnels Classic. This is Tim Willis. We're going to start looking at the history of the image element in ClickFunnels, and that takes us all the way back to the ancient days of 2014. And so we're looking at ClickFunnels Classic right now, which was the original iteration of ClickFunnels. And I have a funnel loaded up here, and we have conveniently placed here an image. And so let's see what the image element in ClickFunnels Classic looks like. So here's our image. We can adjust the width and height. We can also, if we go to our advanced settings, we can add a few features here. We can align it. We can add a border, add a shadow. Our opacity control was either a light fade, a strong fade, or a stronger fade. So basically like a 3 or 4 position switch. And then our grayscale effects, our choice was basically on or off. And that was really all the options you had for your images in ClickFunnels Classic. And if you wanted to do anything like change the opacity or put a blur on or anything like that, you would have to do that in an image editor and then bring that image into ClickFunnels. And then if you wanted to change something later on, you'd have to again create another version of the image and go to the image editor and then bring that version in. So back in ClickFunnels Classic, if you decided with a graphic you wanted to change the appearance a little bit, add a blur or something like that, or add some brightness or contrast, you basically had to take it out of ClickFunnels Classic, put it in the image editor, make the changes, and then bring it back into ClickFunnels Classic. And so a lot of back and forth motion going on there. So that's the way things were. In 2022, ClickFunnels 2.0 was released, and again we have an image element, and we are in ClickFunnels 2.0 right now. So let's take a look at the image element, and a lot of it was somewhat similar to what we'd seen before. There's where we load our image. We could put some alt text in there. We could adjust the width and height. We also have this ratio feature where we could automatically try to put things in there or adjust things. And then we had this fit control, which would be able to change things a little bit in certain situations. But really that was about it. Not much had changed at that point. And when ClickFunnels 2.0 first came out, if you wanted to make a picture grayscale, you'd actually have to add CSS code. And that was the way things were in 2022. But in January 2024, things changed. So now if we go down to our settings in our image element, we have this section called filter. If we click this button on here and turn it on, we'll see that we have several basic image controls we can work with. And so the first one here is blur. So we can blur this picture and get all crazy. But if we just want to blur it a little bit, like 3 pixels of blur there, we can do that. We also have individual brightness and contrast controls. Now the default is going to be 1. And you can move these 100% from that default position to totally dark to totally normally glary on the brightness. The same is true on the contrast. We can take the contrast all the way down 100% from the 1 position, or we can move it 100% up. Then we have a grayscale control here, which is actually adjustable as opposed to the old version ClickFunnels Classic, which is basically yes or no. And so if we do this, we can see it get more gray and gray and gray until we get to the 1 default 100% position, and it's totally a grayscale picture. Now the color invert is kind of an interesting one, and it will invert the colors to the exact opposite color. And if you see here what's happening here, it's when it reaches sort of the midpoint at 5, it basically grays out the screen, and then it starts re-emerging as the total opposite of the colors that it originally was. Opacity control, we can control the opacity of the picture, fade it out, give it sort of a white fade out effect. And we have a saturate control, so if you want to add saturation to your picture, bring out the colors a little more, you can do that. And again, our 1 is going to be our default position. And then we have a sepia control. It's going to make it look like an old-timey photograph. So if we start moving that, we can see it get that more, that kind of brownish kind of picture you see in old history books, the way photographs used to be. And so that's a nice set of controls, and it gives us a lot more flexibility in adjusting our pictures within ClickDesign 2.0. And it also gives us, for these basic things like blur, adjusting brightness, contrast, adding grayscale, saturation, opacity, it gives us those features within ClickFunnels 2.0, so we no longer have to take an image out. So for example, if we decided we wanted to add some saturation to the picture to make it more vivid, we no longer have to take the image out of ClickFunnels 2.0 and put in an image editor. We can do it right here within the ClickFunnels image element. And so that is a welcome improvement to ClickFunnels 2.0. So that's it for today's video on ClickFunnels 2.0 and the new filters feature in the image element. My name is Tim Willis. This is ClickFunnels Click Designs, and this is my YouTube channel where I make tutorial videos about ClickFunnels, Click Designs, and other useful tools for funnel hacking and funnel hackers. And so that's it for today, and we'll talk to you folks later.